Hi everyone, welcome back to Java 1 for All. In this video we are going to see two things. One, how can we work with CompletableFuture when the only option in our service class is the synchronous method. And second, we are going to see how we can pass a custom executor to the CompletableFuture. So let's start by copying this store service and let's call store service deprecated. So let's imagine that you have this class and you don't have any other option to run asynchronous methods. So let's say that this is coming from another library or some other places where you don't have the option to have them running asynchronously, only synchronously. You should be able to figure out how to do this by your own with everything that we saw, but let's see how to do it anyway. And then let's copy here the CompletableFuture test 2 and let's say CompletableFuture test 3. And let's change some stuff. I'm going to delete all of this, including the prices here. I'll just leave the stores, and here I'm going to change, instead of store service deprecated. Here store service deprecated, here store service deprecated, and here we can keep store services. Let's add deprecated. And here we can still call service to keep it small. Okay, so we don't have much options. The class, the object that we have, there is only one option, that is using synchronous method. So how can we kind of have a layer above to have the method that is synchronous running asynchronously? So we have the stores. We still want to use this list. So we call stores dot string, and then here we are going to call the map. But before we were calling the map, calling the service in the store service class, but here we have to do it differently. We have to call the CompletableFuture supply async. And the supply async, we have to pass the supplier. You cannot use method reference. So we have here the service, and then you have the get price synchronously. And then you pass here the S, that's the store value. So you cannot use a method reference because this S is coming from here. I'm not sure if there is a way to use, but if you try to use, you will get an error. So when you do this, you will have exactly what we spoke before in the previous video. We are going to have a list of completable futures. Now, with this list of completable futures, you can create another string, completableFutures.string, and then you can have it here to map CompletableFuture join, and then collect to a list. This is the list of prices. Control Shift F10. Cool. So we have all the prices being executed in parallel. Now, imagine that you do not want to use the fork join pool. You would like to pass your own executor. So you can do that by creating here executors. And let's say that we would like to use the new fixed thread pool, and I want to use 10 threads. So this is a custom value. You can do some math. There are some algorithms or some formulas to kind of try to figure out how many would be a good number of threads for your application. And then we have here the executor. So since we are using executor, we have to shut it down. Executor, then shut it down. Now, inside my supply async here, you can see the green parentheses, I can pass this executor. So if you go to the run, you will notice that we were using the fork join pool. But now, when I execute this method, as you can see, we are using now the pool of threads. Now, the advantage is that first, we are using the executor, but when we are creating the executor thread pool, we can use this thread factory. So the thread factory, we can pass here the runnable, and then I can define how I want my threads to be created. So for example, I could say, hey, I want all my threads to actually have to be diamond threads, for example. And we can set this to true, and then we return this thread. So now when I execute this, Ctrl-Shift-F10, you will notice that the name of the threads, they also changed. So the behavior that I am passing to the supply async, basically this completable future, is taking into account the threads that I am creating here from 21 to 25. So this is one of the advantages that with the future you don't have, only with completable future. So this is what I wanted to tell you in this video. Let's continue with more completable future in the next one. See you there. Bye bye.